Hi, I'm Chris Smith, Principal Solution Architect at Arcee. Today, I'm going to walk you through creating your first workflow with Arcee Orchestra. I'm going to assume you're already familiar with the UI and overview of the product. However, if you do need a refresher, please watch the intro to Arcee Orchestra also in this channel. Great, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go over to the left hand and select the Workflows tab. Once you do that, it takes you into the workflow pane where you can see all your existing workflows. Now today, we're going to create a new one. It's going to be a fairly simple workflow. It's simply going to take an input for the country I want to travel to and generate an itinerary for me. All right. So the first thing we want to do is create a new workflow. So we select Create Workflow. This brings up the canvas, and it's already given us a little bit of a head start. We've already seen a start node, an end node, and a model node. These, of course, are the basic nodes that we're going to need for any workflow. So I'll go ahead and arrange those in order, and I'm going to connect the start node to the model node. Now I want to input the country, so I go to the start node, and I go over and I add a parameter. And this is going to allow me to input one or more variables that my workflow is going to take as input. So in this case, I just want country. Excellent. All right. The next thing I want to do is go to my model node and configure it. So when I select model, then I'm going to go and I'm going to get a drop down of all the models that are loaded into my Arcee Orchestra system. And this is a fairly simple task, so I'm going to use Virtuoso Small for this one. So I select that, and then I'm going to go and I can configure my user prompts and system prompts. So for the system prompt, let's just say, tell the model you are a travel advisor. Now for my user prompt, I want to ask it to please plan an itinerary for, and I'm going to put country in double braces. And that signifies that I'm going to be using that parameter from right here. And that's all I need to do. Now, this next thing I want to be able to do is I want to generate an email. So for that, I'm going to add a new node. So I go over to the left and I'm going to select my integrations node. When I select that, it adds my integrations node to the canvas. So I'm going to put that where I want it in my workflow, after the model, but before the end. And I'm going to click on it. Click Choose My Integration. And we have quite a few integrations here, so I can easily search for Gmail. And there's Gmail. And I will hit Click Next. Now this is going to bring me up a list of actions that I can do with my Gmail integration. Now there's quite a few of them. So again, I'm going to search. I just want to send an email. Send email. There we go. And I click on that and I hit Accept. And that gives me a form over on the right that I need to fill out some details about the email I'm going to want to send. Now, in this case, I'm just going to send it. I'm going to say it's from me. I'm going to send it to me. And I'm going to put the subject is travel plans for country. And again, I use country with the double braces. So it will fill that in for me. And then for the body, I'm going to select the output for this, which is model 1. So again, I'm going to put double braces model 1. And that's going to put the full output from this model directly into my integrations and send it as an email. Great. Last thing I need to do then is just save it. So I will go Save As, and I'm just going to call it Travel. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'll wait a second. And the email is now saved. Now we can test it from this interface by just going over here to click the Run button over on the left. And here's country. And I want it to be Spain. Let's just test. I want to travel to Spain as my input. And then I can run. And we can see it's in running state. And it just showed completed. And we can go and look at our output. Notice the output tells me what my country, what my input parameters were, shows me what the output from the model itself was, and it shows me that my integrations, it was actually sent. If we want to verify that, we can go over to my email, and there I can see my travel plans for Spain. Great. Now, the last thing I might want to do is actually kick this off from the chat UI. So if I go back up here to chat, I then go to my tools, And I see now I have my travel tool that I want to enable. So I enable that. And I say, I want to travel to France. We'll do France this time. And I click OK, and it's actually going to invoke the workflow. There we go. Now we see that the workflow has been executed. We get the output here that it's sending back to the chat UI. I can actually click and I can actually see the details of my workflow if I want. I can say what my input was. It actually parsed out France as my country, sent that into my workflow, and actually executed the workflow. Awesome. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks very much. See you next time.